Hey, welcome back. We're continuing on right where we left off. Hey, can we talk? Yeah. Just move the bag to the corner, please. Thanks. Are you feeling alright? I think this is probably the truest answer she could give. I liked it better before death. I've been better. On the other hand, it's my first life after death ever, so I can hardly compare it to anything. Try focusing on the future. Your past experience does not matter. Sure it matters. I think it determines a lot of things. No, you're wrong. Willpower does, while past experience doesn't. We're not seeing eye to eye here. We have dramatically different points of view here. I say change of subject. But you're wrong because I'm wrong, or you're wrong because you're wrong. I played this game 1,000 times, and it's boring. Let's stop right here. Oh, okay. Well, let's call it a day. What I wanted to do is ask you to never call Maximilian a drama queen again. I can't promise anything. I cannot promise anything. Sorry. How about you at least consider it? Nope. You know, Dora talked to me, actually, about the argument. Maybe must be after I talked to her. She believes that Maximilian is going through a hard time. That is, anyone else could easily set him off. Don't you think so, too? Well, at the end of the day, he did fall out with me, right? Yes. Dora talked to him, too, but I think I should just pay more attention. Looks like Third isn't ready to blame anyone but himself. Well, fine then. But why are you telling me all this? I wanted to say that I put in more effort, and so should you. Are you impersonating Dora? Not bad, but she stresses her verbs even more. Iris, I'm being serious. And you think I am not? By the way, I also wanted to talk to you. Why are you third? Dora first took Tony and Maximilian into her group, and then me, too. Care to elaborate? I mean, I'm not fourth, I'm Iris. Well, I'm third. Very insightful. So far, these two are not the best of friends, are they? How are you doing? How are you doing after yesterday? I made some conclusions and... I mean emotionally. I get the rational part. My question is more about emotions. How are you? Confused? Pleased? Maybe down? I'm upset that it all happened this way. Tell me how Dora took you all aboard. Tell me about joining Dora's group. Did you take 1.5 years of correspondence and discussions to confirm? No, 1 week only. Still joking. But meanwhile, I'd actually like to know. I filled in a form. They found me a curator within the next few hours. However, I was told that she was busy and that I would have to wait. Even got a room at the distribution center. And I, to waste no time, decided to learn more about this world, so I started coming up to unoccupied staff and asking them questions. A lot of questions, actually. So, you tortured them with meaningful conversations, eh? Delightful. Iris, tell me everything. There isn't much to tell. First, they were responsive, then they gave me a book. I read it, and then I asked for another. They weren't too happy about that. Well, they should have been. All in all, I was told to return the book and come up to the bus the next morning. Dora, Tony, and Maximilian were already there. That's the story. So did you find out you were leaving with an expedition just then? Yes, I was actually very happy. I never thought I'd get so lucky. We're following in the footsteps of none other than Eric Hansen. What do you mean? You do know that his expedition is the one to discover Crystal City, right? Well, I mean the place where they founded the capital later. He has contributed to so many incredible discoveries, including doors. And the rumor has it, he still goes out on expeditions. Can you believe that? He's got to be over 200 years old today. So does it mean you all lived inside the bus for a while? Yes, but not that long. We did fit in a few rides, though, to check if Tony could handle the road well. Oh, and do you know how he and Max joined the group? Tony spent a lot of time in the hospital in Crystal City. He was really unwell, but Dora managed to help him. And Maximilian, well, I don't know much about him. I think he stayed in the hospital, too. Maximilian the Mystery Man and his adventures. We'll never know what they were. I see. What do you think of Maximilian? Same as before. We have to work together, be the group Dora can be proud of. But why? Why what? Why do we have to be the group Dora can be proud of? It's the best for us all? Logical and absolutely impersonal. That's odd. Ask nothing else. I'm sensing an itch to ask why again, but he'll probably just say something along the lines of, because it's the right thing to do and we'll get stuck in a timeless loop. Listen, you got a huge collection of tea next to your bed, or just jars and tins that used to contain tea, but now accommodate something unseemly? Iris. It's nothing of the kind. I just like busying myself with tea. I try memorizing the blends, the time and water temperature for the perfect brew, anything that helps produce nice new flavors. A habit from the past, eh? No. Oh. I just like trying out different tea blends. Alright. Want one? It's got cheese. Yes, thank you. I'll have one. In the movies, the chosen ones with superpowers would normally arrive and ask you to help them save the world. In reality, they sit down next to you and offer you cheese rolls. I much prefer reality, to be honest. Good thing you like cheese, otherwise it'd be wrong. Wrong why? If you don't like cheese, this is the wrong role for you, and I don't have another. Like the cheese roll. It's all about the cheese achievement. Do you want anything else, maybe? And answer at length. How do I begin? I want to figure out how to live now. I also want to have my former life back. I want to know who and why killed my prototype. I want to never think about it again. I want to see the Crystal City, and I want to never, ever hear about it again. Get Crystal City back. What's next? Who killed? Tony, it's okay. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. Killed you? Who killed? Shh. Everything was fine. Oh, good job, us. No! Killed! Killed! Tony, look at this beautiful watch. See the cogs turning and the ticking. Do you hear it? Ticking. It is ticking. Tick, tack, tick. Dora, hi. I brought Iris a cheese roll. Does it mean you don't have one for yourself now? Remember where they are? Grab another one, okay? Yes. Right, then. Iris, have you lost your mind? How could I know Tony would react this way? How was I supposed to know he would react? He wasn't wearing a sign that says, don't say the K word. Should I maybe get you your own sign? Something like, doesn't use her head to think, or couldn't care less about others, or jumps to conclusions. Or even, picks the worst time to point out the faults of organization. Right. There's no point in taking this further. Let me explain to you how to talk to him. Do not overwhelm him with long sentences, and do not give too much information at once. Understand? I see. And are you saying that the K word has nothing to do with it? He hardly even realized what you were saying. Tony's outlook on the world is pretty peculiar. Is it though? Days after death. 11. So then, dear diary, we have been on the road for over a week now. I can't remember if I mentioned the radar before, but here goes. It is supposed to detect new territories in the void, but it has been awfully quiet. I wish it beeped for once. Sob. Serena has probably been buried by now. Damn it, I can't even say goodbye to her. I know she's dead, and there's nothing left of her, but still. Anyway, I want to open a door to Sue's, and I'll even manage on my own. I'll need all the energy I have, yes, and some free time, which I don't have. Well, I do have some time, but Dora doesn't consider it free. I think I can ask someone else to help me with the door, should the chance come up. I wonder if they've caught Roy's prototype by now. Shame I cannot watch the news, there's no satellite here. I want to find out that the bastard is in prison. I also really hope that he has made a full confession, so I fully know why he had to be a bastard. It's like a splinter I cannot pull out. Like I don't know something about her, and possibly about me. I don't want to think about her death, and I cannot stop either. It's itching, scratching, annoying. I wish I could talk to Serena at least once. Dora's opinion is that we should leave the past in the past and move on under her capable guidance. There it is, the perfect example. He doesn't whine, he is quick and efficient, but a diligent student. Max is permanently displeased with everything, including me. Me too. And Tony, well, he is the chosen one. He can create literally anything, and in immense quantities too, but he doesn't seem to reflect on what he does it for. He's conscious at times, but most often he's just lost in some weird, suspended state of mind. I like hanging out with him. Nevertheless, I like hanging out with him. Dora tries to calm Tony down, pet him and comfort him, but I'm not sure it's working. Can anyone help him at all? That's a great rhetorical question. I'm learning. Creating items is exhausting, but the actual process is rather intuitive. My signature trick so far is ropes. Speaking of others, Max is somewhat better with doors, but struggles with smaller items. Third is the other way around, and the chosen one can do anything without even looking, as I mentioned before. On the first day of the expedition, my arm cracked. May sound scary, while it looks, well, odd, it doesn't feel like anything in particular. I also have nightmares, and I recall things I'm sure I never even knew. All in all, nothing out of the ordinary. But I decided to talk to Takio about the cracks after all. They make us different from the prototypes, and they don't really mean you're about to die. Something like that. Another piece of good news is that there are pills that help fight nightmares. I'm trying to handle things on my own for now, but it's comforting to know there are meds available. So my case is recognizable and treatable. All in all, I've got 3 options now. Figure out the whole Serena story, closure, mystery, nightmares. Work towards my future, practitioner, scientist, the love of my life, a happy ending. Do nothing, at least the prospects here are very clear. I suppose all these can mix and match somehow, or not. Hold on a second. Okay, so the radar has detected an island. It seems to be medium-sized and close by. Get the others, we're starting in 5. Good. Dean, are the scientists ready? Yes, we'll be starting off with blue and green. Super. In that case... Dora, what's going on? Practitioners will now load their paint guns and determine the closest available piece of territory where the bridge can be spanned. They will also test the local tolerance of different metals to the void while they're at it. Why are we whispering, Dora? Iris. Why is Dora shouting? Let's find out. Something wrong? No! What kind of question is that anyway? I've explained everything to you. Or hold on a second. I haven't, have I? Well, why didn't you ask me? But then, I'm sorry. Makes sense. You cannot know that you can ask questions about something never mentioned to you. Right, I'll give you a brief explanation. Listen carefully. We are not prototypes. We have different abilities. We cannot have children, and on average, we live longer. Our life after the prototype's death used to be closely linked to anything left of them, such as living arrangements, social circle, and etc. But if we want to thrive, we need to create our own world, our civilization, if you please. Which is why one of the community's major goals is to discover and study new territories. The most successful example of that to date is the Crystal City. Then there are villages, plentiful lands, experimental sites, and whatnot. Crystal City was discovered by the expedition headed by Eric Hansen, one of the community's founders. You must have heard of him. And by the way, regarding the rumors that he still takes part in expeditions, however, since he must be over 200 years old now, I personally doubt that he does. But then, he's mostly a symbol, a visionary figure for the community today. And speaking of new territories again, as the void is unstable, there is no way of predicting where the new territory may resurface next. The radar has just detected one not far from here, and the practitioners will now determine the distance to it. Tomorrow they'll span a bridge and stabilize it, and that's when we'll see exactly what is there and the general state of things. What are the options, though? Ever found anything fun? Oh, absolutely. A cheese farm, for one thing. Fully functional, can you imagine? The smell of noble blue cheese filled every one of our buses for 2 weeks afterwards. Okay, I love blue cheese, but that would have been really gross. A frightful memory, but it was delicious, as she said. Scientists hold it that, inside the void, everything is relatively stable, that is, until a new territory is discovered, as in, becomes visible. Time is almost or completely at a standstill there. In order to appear in the void, a location has to disappear from the prototype's world, at least in the way, shape, or form it existed there. I mean, everything we find would have been destroyed in the aftermath of volcano eruptions, tsunamis, prototypes relocating, and many other things. That's the gist of it. Thank you. Listen. Thank you. Listen. So do the practitioners need guns to determine the distance to the new territory? Guns? Look, they're about to shoot already. Let's watch. Whoa. Looks like the blue paint hit the closest. It's probably where the bridge will touch the ground. Not exactly. They'll do some calibrations and then fire a few more shots around the place. Or a few rounds of shots, even. They may still go for blue. It's quite likely. Which paint is mixed with what? I can't tell you exactly, so you better ask Tian. Go up to her later when they will have determined which metal combinations the void favors here. Then they will be picking the most appropriate pieces for the practitioner's gear, right? Spot on. Now, let's go set up camp. And drink tea! Like the last time, or something new? Actually, I was planning on making a new palatable blend. Palatable is a nice word. An excellent one. Only, Dora, can I first go talk to Tian? It won't be long, and I'll come back and do everything. Whoa, paint! Third, I'm coming with. Just admit it openly that you don't want to be setting up any camp. Maximilian, you're not going anywhere, are you? No. In that case, come with me. Third, I'll be waiting for you. Try not to let Iris get lost on her way, even if she tries her hardest to do just that. I won't get lost, don't worry. I don't think so, at least. Or I'll get found later. Yes. When the camp's been fully set up. Will be a total coincidence. Using the standard formula, I'll get the parameters from Chloe. We also need to double check just to be on the safe side, right? Yes, brilliant. I think we're done here. Tian, can I have a word? What's wrong? Nothing. We're just on a recon mission. Iris. I like to find out which metals go with which into which paints. Oh, and I love to know how the gear looks that the practitioners will be using. You'll be able to have a look later. The gear is packed away, and we haven't unboxed it yet. You'll be surprised just how similar different pieces look. The only visual difference is in the marking. Johnny would have probably said that they differ dramatically depending on the equipped practitioner. And regarding metals and paints, just ask Chloe for a list. Thanks a lot. Iris, let's go find Chloe. Shame she's not as far as she could have been. Chloe, do you have a minute? Can you please give me a list of all the matching metals and paints? I'll copy it and give it right back. You copy it. Like, I cannot undo it. Like, I cannot do it myself or whatever, or can't be bothered. Hey, rookies, this is how it's done. Thanks, Chloe. I will memorize it well. Knock yourself out. Is that all you two wanted? Then thanks again. Alright, see ya. Awesome. We found out everything we wanted. Shall we go back? You reckon Max has done a good job already? Are we going to come back to a camp all set up and Dora all pleased? I don't really think so. Oh, real shame. By the way, how come you left your poor group behind and dashed off to learn all about paint? Doesn't look too mature or responsible to me. It's off-key for you. As if you were me. Iris, I don't think it's appropriate to call you irresponsible. However, you're right. It would have been the right thing to do to set up camp first. I don't know why I chose so inefficiently. Because you wanted to? My desires could have easily waited. Anyway, let's hurry back. Let's do that. Right over there. Isn't that Roy? Him again? Damn, I'll have to catch up with him. With prototypes, the killer returns to the crime scene. With reflections, the victim keeps returning to the killer in her mind. Delightful. Hey, Iris, where are you going? If I tell you that I am suddenly swamped, you won't believe me, will you? Meanwhile, as a matter of fact, let's get back to Dora first, alright? Seems like I'll have to take a walk with Third right now. I hope this one somehow doesn't vanish in thin air shortly. Ugh, Roy, you lucky devil. Perfect timing on your part. Tomorrow morning, practitioners will be building the bridge to the new territory. Since we'll be watching them, bedtime is early today. You've got free time until the evening, so use it wisely. Offer your help to either scientists or practitioners and try to make an impression. Working for them can have a direct impact on your future, and it's generally a valuable experience. All clear, everyone. You've got free time, and this is how you should spend it. I mean, there is logic to that. Dora is such a charm. Yes, thank you. I'm off. Maximilian applies to you, too. Have a think about your plans. Uh-huh. Will do. I'm off, too. I'll go check whether Roy really is here or I was seeing things. Starters. Tony, let's go see Takeo. He'll have a look at you. Roy! Hi, Iris. How are you doing? I'm good. Wasn't expecting to see you here, though. The killer usually returns to the crime scene rather than continuing to pursue the victim. I'm not... Looks like I got it all mixed up, right? Looks like you're here for a reason. There is one, yes. I'm a practitioner, and tomorrow they are setting foot on the new territory. Joe could use some help with that, and I also talked to Tian, and that's why I started dishing out excuses. Came to the scientist camp. To be honest, I've been thinking a lot about what to say when I see you again, and... Can we maybe talk somewhere else? Sorry. Where is this somewhere else? I have cozied up the tech truck a notch. We can go there if you don't mind. Sounds like you're trying to get rid of me, all the while pretending that you are not. Not entirely sure I should be saying this, but you think I'm after my second time lucky? You'll think ill of me. I warn you, some people can produce nasty high-pitched sounds. Try to play me, and you can say goodbye to your eardrums. I've done enough stupid things already, Iris, and I like to keep my ears for now. Okay, I'm watching you. Do you notice? He returned a joke. Right to. Exactly. I have to tell you, you are on this expedition because I killed you. I mean, because I killed you and tried to do something nice to somehow make up for it. By sending Dora my way? Not exactly. You see, she specializes in those who used to spend a lot of time in front of the mirror, and hence hardly know much about our world. And she's a pro at that. I do hope you'll feel better here. And Iris, you can always count on my help. Can I now? Even if I need to dispose of a body? Where are you going to find a body here? But then, maybe a reflected one, or... It doesn't matter. But yes, you can count on me. You murderously serious. Lethally, yes. Can I ask you something? You have already, even though you seem to know what you wanted to talk about. Oh, my thoughts are jumbled. To be honest, I like to ask you a couple of things too. Maybe like a few even. It may not help set the world in order at once, but then who knows? Shall we maybe come up with some scheme, say alternating between your questions and mine? Honesty guarantees? I don't want to lie to you, but there are things that I cannot comment on. So I'll either be speaking the truth or saying nothing. I guess I could do the same. But will you? To avoid mutual honest silence, let's up the stakes. What do you mean? The one who keeps quiet more than the other will owe it to them. Are we going to establish beforehand what will be owed? No, it won't be fun this way. Okay, then just a couple of conditions. It shouldn't affect the other's work, and the task must be doable. You gearing up to lose? Some insurance won't hurt. Hold on, why did you offer him to play a game? It's the stupid awkward tension in the air. Everything is too serious, and we're on the same expedition, and someone here killed the other one. Ugh. I want a bit of distraction, and I think Roy could use some, to be honest. Surely you can win or lose on purpose. Totally. If I win, I'll make him knit me a pair of socks. Didn't he ask for the task to be doable? Ah, damn. So then, do we have a deal? Yes, you go first. You wanted to do something nice for me, and that's how I ended up here. Oh, and Dora is a pro, by the way. What do you do exactly? Came at my curator with a knife? No. Nothing of the sort. How about you better? Accept this as my non-answer. Glorious. And what if I asked Dora why she and I found each other half an hour before departure? Is she going to claim that it was coincidence? Is that a second question in a row? Nah, fine then. Let's continue this marathon of secrecy, coincidences, and random consequences. No pointing any fingers or anything. Being any more specific involves revealing a few other people's personal information. I don't want to do that, and most certainly don't want to lie. Any regarding consequences? Are you sure you don't want to try and kill me? Aren't you afraid it's going to hurt? I am not. Delightful. Well, I won't grant you the pleasure. And it's your turn, by the way. I asked you before, but still, how are you really? Why, do I look pale? You look good, but worried too. Or maybe you're just unsettled by my presence, or I might well be making up problems that don't actually exist. Confide. Do you believe that life is about suffering? No. That's a pity. It's impossible to process the distribution center, the community, the expedition, and the void all in one single week. It's terrifying to understand, no, to know, that I can be left without a prototype. That I am, in fact, already left without her. And the visions, too. You mean nightmares? Not exclusively. I also have something like false memories. I sometimes see things that have never happened to me in reality, or turn out to know things that I cannot have known. Can you give me an example? When Tony fainted, I somehow recalled the specifics of administering first aid. Sorry, that's not too bad. Useful even. Are you trying to calm me down or something? No, that wasn't it. I don't know how to calm people down. How about trying to? You got me there. And regarding your nightmares, is it possible that you see in your dreams as useful somehow? Well, let's see if they can. Are you afraid of drowning? No. Or more like, I'm not so sure anymore. Why? I had a dream about pulling you out from under the water. Did you do a bad job? Or a job too good, on the contrary? I say that is acceptable. Did the outcome upset you? Well, I wasn't the one to have drowned you in the first place. So you didn't drown me, but you were saving me. Uh-huh. Mind-bending. Roy, it's the atmosphere. It was dreadful. Not the actual events, but the very mood. You might feel better if you just let me die somehow. In your dream or for real. It's hardly about my suppressed desire for vengeance. In my dream, when you come around, you look into my eyes. For a long time. And then I wake up. Whoa. Iris, do you believe that life is about suffering? I only believe in Santa, and only around Christmas time. Usually after a couple of glasses of punch. I think this is a very important answer. For Santa, eh? For life, Santa. However, probably enjoys it when grown-ups believe in him too. For life, Santa, however, probably enjoys it when grown-ups believe in him too. Even if those grown-ups are tipsy? That, yes. But not too drunk. That state when you're likely to assume good things. I think it's my turn now. What do you know about the mirror death curse? Dora mentioned that someone believed in the mirror death curse. I'm supposed to have nightmares, and I do a deed, and I'm supposed to be haunted by spooky things, and here you are. A rather specific type of a post-traumatic stress disorder, as Takeo put it. As in, I died in front of the mirror, and hence now I know what it's like to die. Got any valuable comments of your own on this? I should also have this type. Triple strong. How come? I shattered in the void. It hurt, but not that long. However, I don't have nightmares, or any dreams, in fact. And I'm not haunted by anyone, I think. But then my prototype is still alive. Is it a painful memory? It's unpleasant, but my death normally means that someone else survives, so I find it justified. And you? Mine is painful, yes. I think you might feel better if you kill me back. I'm serious. And is there a mirror murder curse when the killer is constantly plagued by guilt? I am not going to kill you. Alright, but allow me to remind you of the option every now and then. Ever heard of masochism? Masochism has nothing to do with this. I want you to hurt no more. That sounds way too romantic. You think so? Why does romance also have a nothing to do with it? Alright, thanks for the answer. Hope it helps you somehow. Stop being so sensitive. Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. You already know if you'll be joining the scientists or the practitioners? It's too early to pick a side. It's too early. Of course, over the past week I also managed to plan my entire life for the next 3 years. So what are your plans for the 3rd of January next year? Running fast, eating yummy food, and dodging questions. Somehow I can see how you'll achieve the latter brilliantly. Ouch. I just really don't know. Happy? Ta-da! In fact, I just given you an answer. Sometimes you get me really confused. But thanks. What do you need the scientists for? I want to interrupt or at least weaken the link to my prototype. I know almost nothing about the link, but I always assumed we cannot do anything about it. Iris, you're very crafty with words. Your "can we do anything about the link" didn't even sound like a question. Oops. And to answer your non-question in short, we don't know. The established notion is that nothing can be done, but then it's not like there has been any major research. Tian agreed to contact someone relevant for me, and I'll get to their test subject. And I'll get to be their test subject. It'll be in a week or 2. Engaging. You believe the experiment will work out? I don't want to ever hold a knife again. Too serious, Roy. It is what it is. Someone's very determined. He's taken someone else's blame upon himself and now carries it around like a flag. It's up to him, sure, but in my opinion, being a little over the top. Murder committed with one's own hands changes many things. Are you sure you would react differently? Mm-hmm. I'm also sure I'm still talking to him. Like at this very moment. Answer accepted. Your turn. How are you getting along with Dora at the end of the day? Are you hoping that the decision you made for me was the right one? And if not, you'll just make another one? Answer me, please. And if you want, I can arrange for you to get another curator. I like it with her. Let me think. A helicopter-style curator, a genius junkie, a sullen hunk, and a compassionate third. What a dream team. Is it that bad? No, I'm actually being serious. I like it overall, however strange it may seem. I'm glad. Answer accepted. Even though at first I thought you were implying you were overwhelmed with adversity. You've sensed the implication right, though. You decide for me and you'll be facing adverse consequences. Got you. All fair and square. Have you seen your prototype since then? Have you seen them since that night? They being interrogated in a room with a massive mirror on the wall. Not the interrogation room, no. Saw him once at the usual barbershop, and then once more someplace else. What was the place? What was he doing there? Sorry, I cannot say. Are you really keeping secrets for the prototype you've never even properly seen? What a load of baloney! I just need to figure something out first, and the murder has nothing to do with it. Not for now, at least. Whoa, some serious baloney indeed, all this. Yeah, that's one way of calling it. A non-answer, then? Well, you did answer the first question. After all, the answer was baloney, but I'll play by my own rules. I'm sorry, but it really is better this way. Claims like this are usually followed by some serious error of ways, eventually causing the world to end, just so you know. Have you tried to find out anything about your prototype? Why? Do you think the case is solved already? I get to reflect the regular stuff, more or less, so I suppose the case is still open? It's just that if he gets jailed, I'd like that. But I probably won't be able to work properly. Who knows what the deal with the mirrors is in jail? I hate to let Joe down. What if he doesn't go to jail? I hope he does. Comment on the prototype. I'd like to talk to Suze, but I haven't had a chance yet. I think you've got better prospects of really learning anything new. Answer accepted, but I'm afraid you're wrong. I can find out the latest news when I have time, but otherwise, I don't know. What do I do? Make a heartfelt confession to the comp's reflections? Hardly any point in that. Do you know any of the comp's reflections? I know Fab. Fab? Fabrico, a practitioner and a former comp. From London, too, by the way. Maybe I should make a mental note of this name. So, when we said bye the first time, did you just go towards the same buses? No, I joined the expedition's first stop. Since I'm on contract, I only get down to work from the moment when all the checks are complete and the buses head out along a new road. So, it means you've been here for a week already. Yes. Are we going to see each other all the time now? Iris, you don't have to talk to me or hang out with me at all. I mean, if you prefer not to, that is. And you, do you want to hang out? That's unrelated to the original question. Is it now my honest answer in return for yours? Done deal. You got yourself a deal. Yes, I'd like to talk to you. Oh, and why is that? Because I want to. That's intriguing. Alright, my turn now. Well, it'd be reasonable to say I don't know, since I'm only talking to you for like the second time in the history of the world ever. I'd probably like to hang. I don't really mind. I might even want to a little. And why is that? To make you wonder. That's a very mysterious rationale. Yours isn't too bad, too. I heard someone from your group fainted. Did he really create several doors at once? Not at once, but one after another. 5 doors exactly. We've got a chosen one in my group. I'll accept this answer, but it's an odd that he is still with you. What do you mean? Knowing Joe, I'm surprised that the guy hasn't been conscribed to join the practitioners yet. Tony is covered in cracks all over. I'm not sure he's conscription material at the moment. Ah, I see now. And I win! Alright, what is the dare going to be then? Make me laugh. What do you mean? Literally that. Tell me a funny story. Mime something. Sing a merry song. Can't even start to imagine how to do that. Me neither, hence me asking you. Will you try? Fine. This one time, we found a cabaret. On a new territory, I mean. There was a costume room. Wigs and feathers, fashion jewelry and tons of weird clothes. Rhinestone-studded shoes. A whole lot. You sure can relate. It's impossible to hold back and try not to. Getting interesting, but not much to laugh at yet. Johnny finds these black lacquered boots in my size, and then he begs and blackmails, calls bets and pleads, and he ends up setting his own example. That's exactly when Chloe finds us. I thought she'd tell us off, but she was quick to get in the mood and join the whole thing eagerly. I bet this is when you caved in. Both literally and figuratively speaking, in fact. I've never worn heels, let alone 7-inch somethings. Imagine this. I'm holding onto a wall because my legs are caving in. Johnny can't even laugh anymore, so he's just sitting on the floor squealing. And Chloe is cheering me on with, "Come on, you can do it." And that's when Dora walks in, wearing a ginger wig with ringlets. She puts her hands on her hips and says in a very formal voice, "So then, what is going on here?" Caught off guard, I let go of the wall and flip on my back, heels up. I I'm sure it was very amusing. Thank you, Roy. Works for me. Whew. I guess that's it. Time to actually do something. Wicked game. Meet Roy for the second time. Achievement unlocked. I could ask someone, maybe Roy even, for help with the door to go see Suze. Then I'll have some energy left to spare for the practitioners or scientists. Actually, do I even want to? How does she put it? To try to make an impression? It can have a direct impact on my future, no less. You seem to be taking your curator's recommendations rather lightly. Quite the opposite. I actually remember what she said. That's an achievement in its own right. Dora tried her best to make sure you didn't forget. Repeated her words a few times, sealed them with the snack, and put her hands on her hips in a threatening manner. You noticed that too? Totally. By the way, you can refrain from asking anyone for help and just do one thing properly, all on your own. Or find some magic fairies to do everything for me. That's unlikely. The idea is great, though. Alright then, we seem to have covered all the possible options. If I want to visit Suze, I better go now. She'll probably be busy reflecting later in the evening. I've got Roy and Dora who can help me with the door. Or maybe Dora not so much. She doesn't seem too inspired by my progress. Not sure if it'll be easy for the dead me to talk to my still very much alive friend who's living her regular life while I am... I should probably take someone with me just in case. Guess Roy wouldn't mind. So question number 1. Do I ask Roy for help? Oh, it's a dilemma. Not real. Thanks for the conversation, Roy. I'll see you around. Question number 2. What am I going to do on my own? Do we want to go to the scientists or do we want to go to the practitioners? I'm not going to Suze. I don't see much of a good outcome coming from that. There's only... Okay, so here we have 4 scientists and only 2 practitioners. Let's go to the practitioners. Don't fasten it too tight, Conrad, or you'll get yourself a pretty purple bruise. Like a love bite, but none of the pleasure. Damn it, Chloe told me I better watch out. You just didn't notice. Had she shown it to you, you'd definitely remember. Whoa! That's that very elusive girl of Dora's! I am Johnny, and you can't even begin to imagine how happy that I am that you are here. And I'm Iris, and I cannot even begin to imagine anything indeed. Want me to tell you? As intriguing as it sounds, I'm here for a reason. I figure the practitioners might have some tasks for me to do. Come with me. I'll take you to Chloe. I'll see how you two are doing when I get back. Johnny, wait. I literally just saw this truck on the other side of the camp, and now there's a bridge sticking out of it. How did you do it? Supersonic practitioners, or another identical vehicle packed with equipment. Which explanation do you like best? The first one, but however, the second one is more realistic. Sadly so. Chloe, we got a proactive volunteer here. Can she play the interference, maybe? Shake up the guys, that sort of thing? Did you decide to abandon Conrad and the other newbie just to give me directions? You think I'm not smart enough to manage on my own? Yes, to both questions. Bloody hilarious. Johnny, you are... By the way, regarding interferences, I can pretend to be a rock, but it won't be too realistic. Just thought you should know. Yeah, right. After all, Johnny explains things like a natural, doesn't he? You know, for sure what you'll have to do. I made a point of leaving the most interesting part to you, so you don't get mad. I receive no respect here. No appreciation, no love. Enough now. Just shut up and freeze. Or better even, come with me. Okay, Iris, so listen here. You'll be bursting training splints in random order. The guys have just attached a few new ones. Bursting is a bad word. Doesn't sound heroic. Need creating, but the other way around. Ah, destroying. I will be destroying things. Amazing. Do one, and I'll explain further. Fab, resetting count. It's a trial 1. I'll start with the nearest one. B31. So that's how it works. Now Chloe will... Iris, you hold it now? Just when I reasonably decide not to do anything weird, it seems to still keep happening on its own. What was that just now? All good, let's proceed. No, we won't. A3, you got anything to say? Everything is fine, really. Agree with braids. You're telling me you always jerk when a newbie bursts a splint? Oh, did they jerk? Alright, I'll pretend I saw it too. We don't. It's just that the sound was kind of wrong. Yeah, exactly. Could your straps be a little loose or something? I secured them fine. Chloe was probably overthinking. Both of you at once? But something's wrong with the actual splint. Sounds fine to me. You just burst it yourself. She's a newbie after all. Iris, did you make any special sound? The sound of bewilderment at most, just now, like now. Fine. Both of you, stop acting like you're morons. What's going on? Come on, it's only the 3rd training session with the splints for such a long break, and Chloe will share all the secrets and awkward details, sure, but you probably have a few ideas of your own. I do. Bring it on. What if they weren't just training? What if they are busy doing something else besides training? Like drawing Chloe's undivided attention? That's some elaborate masochism going on their part. And what do practitioners normally do? Chloe, weren't the guys upholding stabilization at the time, by any chance? To impress you, like hell or later? Are you serious? Well, I haven't trained in a long while. And it's bridge time soon. And you started jerking because something was in the way. The gear is new. And it's squeaky. And now you're coming up with excuses on the spot. Same ones. And it was the other way around at the start. Had a run-in earlier? Not exactly. Not quite. Had a run-in, proceeded with the face-off, and then in came the new gear. Strapping yourselves in too tight and keeping your mouth shut because only a loser would admit to that. What do I even do with you? Ugh, moron. Are you having doubts, sweetie? Now you better shut up. Seems like Johnny is right. She's having doubts. Or she's worried. Why? I'm sorry. And what are the options? Ostracize them, suspend them, or both. Bloody hell. Are the options always this exciting? Usually there's more blood involved, but Chloe is very delicate, so she could really use some sort of loophole in the harsh rule. While you are useless. And hopeless too, I'm afraid. By the way, this is the first time they made fools of themselves today. The first time in the entire expedition. And it's not happening again. Morons. You're on dinner duty tonight. Next time, I'll be really mad, and you'll be enjoying a run-in with me. Thank you, Chloe. We won't do it again. Duh, it's not like... Oh, to hell with it. Secure new splints in place of the first ones that burst. So, shook things up a little. Now back to work. Break's over. Fab, reset the count. Not sure I understand what's happening here. It was Iris, by the way, who got me thinking about stabilization. Looks like she can really use her head, unlike the rest of you. Ouch. I knew it all from the very start. Meet the tactical Iris. Anyway, we're practicing teamwork and the leader's reaction. Well, or the reaction of the person in his place. No nonsense or bullshit that can sometimes take place for real. The guys are expected to engage in no crap, listen to their leader, and replace their splints swiftly when instructed to. Now, Fab, the guy in the leader's place on the top, must always know how many splints got burst on each person, and be able to spot when and where the next burst occurs. And he's got to make decisions, including any about replacing the splints, for example. All in all, you should have enough energy to burst about 20 of them, or 18, in case you're planning on fainting after the 19th. Yes, you can faint all you want. I promise to catch you any time. Remind me, Johnny, why are you even at this training? Someone has to instill confidence in the newbies. Lend them a friendly shoulder, that kind of thing. Friendly, fuff. Okay, Iris, you can start over. You two at once, and try making it interesting so that Fab over there isn't bored to death. At once is a figure of speech. In practice, that is one and then another right after. I wonder if we mean the same thing by interesting or not. B3. First. A2. First. Go on. A3. First. B1. First. Next one. B3. Second. B2. First. Maybe spice things up a little? Stop whining, and you, Iris, focus. A1, first. B3, third. Don't repeat yourself, there's no point in picking the same ones. B2, second. A1, second. Iris, pick different ones. B3, fourth to replace. B2, third. What's the point? Fab remembers the repetitions very well. I'll translate into human. Don't pick the same person within one go. And don't pick anyone twice in a row. You can do it, Iris. Well, flip if I remember. Right. B3, first. B1, second. Fab is bored, the guys are whatever. Chloe is dismal, and I'm in dismay. How about spicing up your selection a bit? A3, second. A2, second. Aha! Maybe the last two splints were actually harder to burst than the first two. Burst a couple more. B2, fourth to replace. B3, second. By the way, Fab has just gone and got everything right. And Iris has just gone and burst the splints. So what? Here, you think that the vibe is missing something too, don't you? Something like silence, maybe? You bore me. It's hard to listen when the world is spinning. I mean, when the head is spinning. I don't feel so well. I'm gonna stop now. I think I'm done. Thanks for your help, Iris. Are you dizzy? Not at the moment, no. Alrighty then. The cruel world is pushing me to push my limits. I mean, I need to get back to watching Conrad suffer. Turning yourself into gear? Temporary. This way I can study the enemy from within and learn all of their plans. Going to eavesdrop on the splints, talking to one another? They just deserve, really. Their behavior is itself a valuable resource of information. Not sure I'm prepared to find out more. There's something weird going on with this gear of yours. Tell me about it. Okay, I should get going. Ask about the training? Hold on. What do you think about the training results? Got any advice for me, maybe? I say it went fine. You did what Chloe told you to do. I got it. The key advice here is to obey Chloe. This kind of advice is for all of us and for all times, I have to say. Really? Always with no exceptions? Even though, let's just say, there are things she doesn't approve of. For example, if I hug you right now and she sees us... let's not risk it then. Let's not take any risks then. It's going to be weird, but I want to ask you something. Iris, do you like the ticklish sense of danger? No, I'm very ticklish. Which is, by the way, not a call to action. Would you explain this at all? Brutal. And you, are you ticklish? I'm not ish about anything. Johnny, that was pretty unnatural, this laugh of yours. I'm sorry. Let's try it one more time. Hee hee. You're hopeless. I'll go back to the camp while you practice. Ouch. It's a draw. 2-1 to me. Hey. I see you. Oh, the adventurous one. I probably should get some sleep, but then it's still way too early. I have no idea how to keep myself busy. Go through the bag? Not today. Come on, you've been acting all week like it doesn't exist. This is no good. It's like a splinter, you know. Sore and stinging and itching, yet still there. You just leave it be, you'll end up with inflammation. Maybe it's finally time to get a grip and try paying your last respects to Serena. Guess so. I've got an idea. Ask someone to help you with it. For you alone, for the two of us, the pain is too much. You can see how hard it is for you. My heroic inner voice admitting to not being almighty. More to the point, please. So, am I expected to confide in someone I've known for less than 2 weeks? Not at all. You won't have to say anything, or explain, or share, but every little thing brings you pain and it will trigger memories. For any other person, the contents of the bag are about you, not her, and that's why they'll be able to help you. I won't. How do you suggest this is even supposed to work? I need to go through my dead prototype's bag. I may well up in the process. Couldn't you maybe help me, even though I don't even know how? Say, move stuff from one pile to another? Not just move stuff. The second person can help you determine what you'll still use, what might be kept as a memento, and what should just be discarded. And find something that might be connected to the murder. For the whole thing to hurt less, and for you to not cling to every item for long, it is essential that you are not alone. Okay, then, who do you suggest? I'd pick Dora. She'd definitely try to be supportive. And given what she likes towards her own prototype, she's likely to understand how you feel. But it's up to you, of course. Dora or someone else from the group. Rich pickings. It's late already. Practitioners and scientists will be spanning the bridge tomorrow, so everyone else is either asleep now or about to be. And all the same, if I pick anyone other than Dora, I'd still have to ask her permission. Ugh, well, thanks. Don't make me change my mind. Dora, can I steal you for a few minutes? Yes, what is it? I want to go through the bag and maybe throw a few things away, and I can use some help with sorting its contents. Serena's bag? Yes. Sure, let's go. Go through the bag with Dora. Kinda want to do it with Maximilian, because I feel like Maximilian would just be cold about it. But Dora with sympathy. Dora, wait. I wanted to ask Maximilian to help me, as long as you don't mind. He definitely dislikes me, and I can't say I like him that much either. This interaction might just help me stay focused. Actually, I do mind. He will definitely refuse to do that, and anyway, it's better not to approach him with most things female. They make him uneasy. I was going through my dead prototype's bag of female thing. It's a woman's bag. Duh. Are you saying I'm not the only one making him uneasy? Want to pick anyone else? No, you come with me. No, in that case, I'd like you to go with me. Fine. So then, I suggest you get the contents out. I'll group everything, and if you want, I can take away whatever gets discarded, and you don't have to worry about it. Seems like a plan. I'll decide what I do and do not need myself, though. Of course. All the papers stay. Fine. I'll order them to make sure the sheets don't get jumbled up, or I can give you a few paper clips to make storage easier. Uh-huh. Very well done, you. I wouldn't get to mine for several months. I couldn't get to mine for several months. She didn't have that many things left. I mean, things of her own, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Did it help in the end? To a certain degree. I did get closure at least once. Do you need more than one? 2, actually. When I'd finally gone through all the stuff, I stopped guilt-tripping myself for not doing it. But she used to save magazine cutouts, you know, like many people did it back in the day, with style and fashion tips. I spent a lot of time looking for all of those items. I wanted to collect them all, as if for her. I'm still on the lookout sometimes. As if she can come back. Yes. The most useful thing for the prototypes, which is utterly useless to us. I've only seen these in the movies. You mean phones? Yes, I do remember the corded ones, though, with a dial. Anyway, the same rule applies here as with all the latest tech devices. You chuck it or hand it over to the practitioners. It won't work here. You know, but then I'll also leave it as a keepsake. Put it on a shelf and dust it occasionally. What for? I don't know. How to protest. You're right. It's probably best to just throw it away. Iris, what a pretty makeup bag. Not too bad. Can I have a look? Uh-huh. However, I'm not good at making conversations about the pros and cons of highlighters, concealers, and eyeliners. I can only respond with yes, uh-huh, and oh, really? I don't actually understand why I even discuss these things. You just need to find out what suits you best. By the way, can I copy your mascara? I've been meaning to try the silicone brush for a while. Oh, really? Uh-huh, yes. Iris, you know the type of brush without even opening the mascara, and we're suddenly having a girly beauty talk. Glorious. I still got a habit of following the latest arrivals. I can lend you a few magazines later if you want, and by the way, have a look in my makeup bag. You might find something you like in there. Now then, what's next? If you want, I can place these on a shelf. Third likes reading too. And you? I prefer nonfiction. Books on psychology, personal growth, management, and fashion. Would an edition of How to Stuff People with Cheese Rolls to Death be more management or more personal growth? Still joking, Iris. Uh-huh. So clearly both. You should study its contents. We're different from the prototypes, and you can certainly use ointments or balms to soothe the cracks, while hormonal drugs are useless, and so are sanitary pads. What? You don't get a period when you're when you're a copy? Nice. Yes, I know. Iris, do you maybe want to add anything? Do you need more books? A new fragrance, a scarf, something of your own. Something small but nice. Or I can find you a new bag. And again, yours is stylish as is. A flask with whiskey, a fancy one made of silver with a coat of arms. Iris, alcohol inhibits your receptors and it is a depressant. Just so you know. You're being irresponsible about your own... Ah, you're joking. I, meanwhile, was being serious. Think about my offer. You're not bringing me the flask? No. Real shame. Alright, I'll think about it. That is it. Nothing else left. You'll definitely not need a wallet. You can give the coins to the practitioners, though. They might find a use for them. No, I'm intending to pine away over the coins and the notes, and especially the credit cards. Alright, want me to get you more? Make the pining away more efficient? No, but thanks for caring. About that, by the way, why did you ask if I wanted to add anything? Firstly, I'm your curator, and taking care of you is my job. Secondly, you haven't had the time and spirit to find something you like. Thirdly, personal belongings help us be ourselves. I can get a few fragrance swatches for you. Once you pick one, you'd feel better. Okay, if it's not too much trouble, let's check out a few. Deal. Since we're done, I'll store everything away on the shelf. Thank you, Dora. Boat on the river. Go through the bag together. You're always welcome. Very well. Down on dealing with the bag. And with Dora too, in a way. I think she's nice. Of course she's nice, which is what scares me. I can feel you're doing better now. A little. It's so odd that the bag will never be reflected again, forever remaining this unpacked. No new scripts, notes, or books. Like I'm on stage and I've just repeated my line for the third time, and yet the other actor still won't appear from the back. An acute sense of absence, right? Unnatural. Alright, time for bed. Good night. Thanks. You too. Us too, I mean. Days after death. Wow. Alright, we'll stop here. I will see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for keeping me company.